Hey, hey, it is Thursday. I know you feel blessed and refreshed. I'm back. Got another one, and today is a special one because we are having a special conversation with a special guest, my sis T and E, now known
Yeah.
as Developing Mind. Hey, sis,
Yeah.
and they be eating. The live stops for eating.
Yeah, this is a really good topic, and I feel like it needs to be talked about because I mean it goes on daily. And it's something that a lot of people deal with, okay, especially children in school, even parents, but most of all our children. Intimidation is something that they deal with, and a lot of people don't know how to go forward with. A lot of children don't know how to come out and talk about it because they're scared of the aftermath of what may happen.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Um, Before we jump into it, I want to go ahead and say hey to everybody who's here real fast. Hey, Unique, thanks for coming in. Self Care is here. Shanita is here, and Tamika is here. Thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. So, when you think about the word intimidation, what do you think about? Like, what other words would you think about?
You was breaking up on my end, sis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying, when you think about the word intimidation, what other words come to mind? What else do you think about?
Bullying, peer pressure, embarrassment, um,
Mm.
um, less than, so much more.
Hmm. Well, when I Google the word intimidation, it's actually an action, and it is all those things that you just said. It's making someone else feel all those things plus more, including feeling scared, feeling terrified, feeling frightful, right? And when I think of the word intimidation, I didn't really think that it really went that deep. Um, but then when you think about being on the other side and being the person who is being intimidated, then those words really do make a lot of sense. So, in today's live, we're going to talk about this much needed conversation and some of the ways that um, intimidation happens and how it can affect us. Does anybody here ever feel intimidated? Please feel free to jump in this conversation. But otherwise, we're going to jump right into it. So, some ways. What are some ways, T, that you think, that you think of?
Um, some ways that people can feel intimidated. You know, fashion. People being picked on for fashion. Um, having their own unique look. Um, being um um the way they talk, the um what else, the things they do, so much more. I've been intimidated plenty of times in my life, so I
Hmm.
definitely know how that feel.
Yep, I was gonna ask you about any personal experiences. Me personally, um, I would say that I felt intimidated in the aspect of being in a room with people who had higher degrees than me. For instance, I was in college and I was at a meeting that was kind of talking about our future and where we're going to go next, and everybody else in the class was like, oh, we're going to go and work for this top executive company and all this and that, and I'm just like, I'm happy to
I'm
just go
happy
into
to go into
a call center or something. And so at that point I just felt smaller than the room, you know what I mean. I didn't feel like, that I wanted to be there anymore. I didn't feel like that I was worthy enough. My self-worth in my mind wasn't there. So that's just an example for me. Um,
Okay. Okay.
like you said
Yeah.
at the beginning. Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, like you said at the beginning, not feeling like that you're pretty enough or that you're cute enough. I went through that as well.
Yeah, but you know what? When you said about the degree in the school and everything, you know what? People will make you feel bad for being for the ones that go to like 4-year colleges. If you just go to a community college, people make you feel bad. Hey, hey, yeah. Um, so people will make you feel bad because like, oh, you just going to a 2-year college. But what if that's what you're only prepared for at the time? It ain't saying that you cannot go back later on and not do it. But that's what you feel like is what's right for you right now. So honestly, that's what I mean by intimidation. Like people just will make you feel bad for not being at the level that they're at. Oh, uh-oh.
No, I'm sorry about that. My baby's coughing, but yeah, you said that people will make you feel bad, making you feel like you can't do what you want to do, right? Like if you want to go to a 2-year college instead of 4-year college, like you said, what's the big deal? You're still gonna come out with your degree, and what you want it to be in. So that in my mind,
Yeah, like let's see, a situation where I was intimidated. I remember in when I was in elementary at the time, and um I wore glasses, and back then if you wore glasses, people picked on you for wearing glasses. They thought that, oh, you're a nerd. You have no, wash your hands. You have four eyes. You're not pretty and all this and that. And back then, I didn't know any better. I used to pull at my hair, and I used to not like glasses, and then I got picked on for even being dark skinned. So I used to think that I needed to lighten my skin up. I didn't know how, but I used to think that I needed to be, accepted and liked in elementary. And that was at a young age. That was like first or second grade. Now I had my whole life ahead of me, and just knowing that people said those, made me feel like that at that age, that can have a really really big impact on your life growing up. um it have an impact how you move, how you think, how you learn, like everything, like, and it's crazy. I mean, but there it goes. Oh, but it's cold, yeah, baby. um but you have to, I had to do like self-esteem quizzes to get my self-esteem up, and they work. um but it's sad that people will do those things to you.
yes, I agree. And at the end of the day, at the end of this conversation, by the time we reach the end of this, there will be encouragement here because there's so many people going through it and who don't talk about it, or who they might be ashamed, or their pride might be, too much pride or whatever you call it. Um, but then there's even, how about the times where, people maybe change who they are even just to fit in.
Yeah, trying to change yourself to fit into a group that don't even really like you. If they like you, they'll accept you for how you are. If you got get the look that they have and do the things that they do just to sit with them and eat lunch with them and do the activities that they do, they don't really like you, and honestly, everybody in that group, they don't like the other person, whoever's the ringleader. They don't even like the other girls because the other girls probably most likely have to do the same thing too in order to sit with the main girl that has to look.
Hmm. So I'm like, at what point do we realize that we just got to stop going around people like that? Why do we keep putting ourselves into situations or into rooms where we know we're not appreciated, or we know that that we can't speak up if we wanted to, or we know that those around us are not going to speak up for us? Why do we keep putting ourselves in that predicament to feel intimidated?
you
um
know I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, me personally, it goes back to just wanting to be accepted, just wanting to, um, just wanting to fit in, or wanting to be validated. And at that time in my life, and for anybody who might be going through that right now, like, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? What do
Right.
you think?
Yeah. And coming to think about it, it makes you wonder, um is us, children. I don't remember being, taught here, dry your hands. I don't remember being taught that, or um I don't remember anyone talking to me about that, bullying back in the day, or, you know, um, self-esteem. Like I just do not remember anyone coming to me, sitting me down and talking to me about that. So, we wouldn't know any better, or even how to just handle the situation until it's probably too late. Your self-esteem then got low, or you don't want to be at that school, or you don't want to be in a certain environment just due to how people make you feel. And then especially if you're scared to speak up, then that's another thing. So it's like you basically have to teach yourself how to um get out of the situation.
Yep, I agree. Amen. Thank you so much, Mother of Twins, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I got another super chat. I really like the super chat, and this is my super chat song. I haven't done that in a minute, but I appreciate you so much for that. But um, you said something that caught my attention, and it was the fact that we're supposed to be different. We're not supposed to fit in and try to and do things like that are not of ourselves and changing ourselves and things. And the reason ultimately is because God made each and every one of us different. I know you might hear that several times, but how many of us truly believe that, in our hearts, that we're here for a purpose, and that everybody's purpose is different, and that if we all just understand that and love a little bit more than and put our heads together here, then there's strength in numbers and we all can do well. I'm not talking about materialistic things, which is what everything is revolving around nowadays.
Yeah, and that's another thing, if you don't have the name brand, or if you don't have a nice car, if you don't have a nice house, um, you know, um, it's like they turn their nose up, like, ooh, like, and it's just like, why does society have to make people feel like they have to have these things to feel validated, to feel accepted, to feel like they're worth anybody, just first of all, God put us here and he created us in his own unique way. Like, we have our own personality, we have our own character, we have our own look, and we Back in the day, everybody had their own look. They had their own look. Everybody was, encouraged everybody. Everybody was, kept uplifted each other when they had nice clothes on that wasn't name brand. We had clothes from Dirt Cheap. We had clothes from Kmart. We had clothes from Fred's. We had nice stuff from those stores that's not around anymore. And now we have all these big companies that sell all this name brand stuff, and um it's just, if you don't have it, then you're not accepted, and it's so sad.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Um, so if we all just get it through our heads that, you know, that intimidation is, number one, what I always say is intimidation is a crime. So when you think about all those negative words that we expressed when we talked about um, intimidation, think about the fact that you don't necessarily have to feel intimidated, and that you don't have to make other people feel intimidated because they don't look like you. Understand that, hey, it all goes back to God. That's what my eyes are open. They wide open nowadays. So it all goes back to him. Like, don't you understand that he gave you life so that you can love, that you can accept, and that we can be together. We can do this thing together and not make everybody feel like they're so doing something so wrong because you know what I'm saying, because they're not in the trend. I know I've never really been in the trend. I never will. I mean, I make cheap look okay, I think. But, you know, at the end of the day, who are we really trying to please? Right? Thank y'all, everybody who's coming in. I appreciate you so much. I see you. Thank you so much.
Right. At the end of the day, you should, when it comes down to, happiness, that starts from within. That starts with yourself, Um, and then another thing, you should be treating your brothers and sisters how you treat yourself. And you should treat others how you want to be treated, you know. And that's just not how people do nowadays, it's totally opposite. So, um, you know, with people going around bullying people um because of how, certain aspects of people are, um you know God sees that. He sees that, and you can try to cover it up, but he sees it and he knows. So, um you know it's up to man, to determine if they're going to keep, bullying people, or if they're going to get it right and treat others as they want to be treated, how they want to be treated. So, peer pressure is a really, really big thing in this world, and it's one of the most dangerous things in the world. Like, so many people lose their lives to peer pressure and bullying. And not I mean, you have some adults that lose their lives, but mostly children, um teenagers. um there's this video that I saw, um about this girl. This girl was, I think she was in high school, if I'm not mistaken. She was trying to get her mom's attention. She was scared to tell her mom, but she was like, it was the way that she was trying to get her mom attention by, the stuff that she was doing or whatever. um she was trying to tell her that she was being bullied at school. I think so, mommy, so, and yeah. Back to the zoo story. Oh, no. So, her mom wasn't listening, um, and then one day she really wanted to talk to her mom, but her mom was busy. She was just ripping and running. And she was like, I gotta get this done, I gotta get this done, I have to talk to you later. And so come to find out, okay, yes, I will. So come to find out, her mom left the house, and when her mom returned home, her daughter had taken her own life because she just needed that moment just to talk to her about, a situation that she's been dealing with for a while, and she could no longer take it. And that mom was so hurt. So it's just very important for parents to just check on their children, to sit down and just take that minute out of the day, just 5-10 minutes out of the day, to talk to your child or your children, just to make sure they're mentally and doing okay in school, because just never know.
Exactly. Exactly. You never know. I'm glad you said that. At the same time, has dropped my second channel. Motivation with Tam is not only motivation for yourselves, building yourselves up, but building you up so that you can keep your kids built up. Nowadays, there's so many kids out here who are amongst others who don't have things. They might not have no food. They ain't had no breakfast. They just going to school. So sorry, excuse me. So that's just even more reason to bring some type of awareness. So that channel is focusing on the kids. It's going to focus on the kids more than us because they need it. So I hope that you're connected to that channel. And I appreciate you guys again for coming in. Hey, I see you. Thank you so much for coming in, Sandra. I see Nada. I see Tamika and Tracy and Butterroll and TSM. I see Drea. Thank y'all so much. I see Anne Marie and Sandra. Did I say that? I see Shanita. Um, everybody's here. Mother of twins and Unique and Mona and yeah, I'm different. Sir is in the building. I appreciate y'all. So, we having some good conversation and self care. I forgot about you. I'm sorry. I see you up there at the top. Um, this is needed. I love it. I love it. So outside of feel intimidated and all this and that, I was gonna say that me myself, as I grow, I had to learn how to just remove myself from the situation, how to understand that, like we all know, some people are reason, some people are reason, and some are a season or whatever. But more so, I just don't mix with this crowd anymore. I just don't mix with this person anymore, or whatever it might be, and um, you know, because I might feel intimidated, maybe because others are intimidated by me, and maybe I'm innocently just being myself, and it starts to get overwhelming. So I'm just talking for myself because that's happened to me several times. And, I'm guessing that it's relatable. I'm hoping that it's relatable. Um, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, removing yourself from situations. It takes so much energy in trying to please people and fit into situations where you really don't want to be in. It takes so much energy, and it's stressful, and you gotta work at trying to meet people's goals to where they want you at, or you gotta lower yourself to be where they're at, and that's not okay. So you have so much more peace, and you can be able to live day to day happy, just being yourself and removing yourself from those situations that require you to use so much energy just to fit in or be accepted by people. I know, and that's with anything, that's with um children at school, that's with friendships, that's with family, that's with work, that's with um just so many, um church, um because all churches out here are not just real churches. I mean, they're not based on the real thing. They're out here for the wrong reason, and that the energy that be in these churches when they're um not about the real, not really about God. It's the energy in the environment is harsh. It's harsh, and it's you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it, and you're not gonna be okay. And then you're gonna want to remove yourself from, you know, um, that establishment. Um, so yeah, removing yourself from situations is very important. It's very, very important.
Yep. So with that, does anybody in the chat have anything that they want to include? Does anybody want to, touch on this a little bit before, or did you want to touch on this anymore, sis? Not trying to, not trying to end it or anything, but I was just looking like, wow, we really had a really good conversation here, and it didn't take a lot of time. And just looking at the couple things I had on my notes, so what I was gonna say, shoot, we went above and beyond. God
Mm-hmm.
made us, God made us uniquely different, and that's the only thing I can just keep coming back to. It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And our children watch us day to day. They watch us because they're growing every day. They're growing and they're learning. So it's very important on how we as adults carry ourselves and how we treat people, because what they see is what they're gonna go back and do. And you want to make sure that you're making a good representation um of that. Also, um you just never know. I mean, if I want to say this, when it comes down to intimidation, um you want to ensure that you make it aware to your child that they can come to you and talk to you, um because a lot of parents, I know me growing up, I never my not my biological parents, because I lost them at the age of 5, but my mom's sister that raised me, she never really just came to me and was like, you can come and talk to me if anything is going on. Honestly, when I went to my mom um and told her about a lot of things when it came to school, you know, I don't know, but she didn't really believe me. Like, she always thought that, well, you got to listen to the teacher and the teacher is always right. But you do have those teachers that, you know, that are bullies too to children. And children will be scared to open up to you about that if you don't go to them and let them know that, hey, you can come and talk to me about stuff, or if you don't check in and make sure they're okay. um um I know when I was in, um due to how, those couple of times when I went to, hold on, we just wash hands. Due to those couple of times when I went to my mom, and we will go in a few minutes, hold on. um when I went to her and I told her about those incidents and she took up for the teacher, I remember in junior high when I had, okay, give me 1 minute, okay? Okay, come on. I remember when I had this teacher, um and she taught me English, and um she was racist, and I that was the first time in my life that I ever um experienced racism. um she said something to me, and I went to the principal and I reported her. And they talked to her. And that next day, that teacher told me if I go and I report anything else on her, that she would hang me by my shoestrings. I did not know what to do from that point because I was never taught. I was never taught. I just didn't know what to do. So I didn't even go back to report that. And when I think about that today, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I get upset because it's like I know I should have went back to principal because teachers like that still have a job and children are scared to speak up and they just receive that harsh treatment over and over due to the fact that they don't know what to do or what to say. And it's sad, but I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, that was a lot. That hits different because I have my daughter is going into the seventh grade next year. It's like, wow, teachers can be bullies too. Wow, you know what I mean? It's a lot. Um, that's look. Everybody else is saying wow too. Hey, love and live. Thanks so much for coming in. Yep, I dealt with that. Raise our children to speak up. Yep, raising it to speak up. Absolutely. Um, yeah. So this is all so relatable for all of us. I'm assuming it sounds like it here, and this has just been an awesome conversation, and just half the time, I think. Do you feel good about everything that we talked about here?
Yeah, like this was a really, really great conversation, and there's more to come. This was just, one. Um, but it's definitely was a great topic, and I'm actually glad that we talked about it. It because I'm sure we helped somebody. I'm sure we helped someone tonight.
Yep. And with that, I hope that if you're listening to this now live or coming back on the replay, that you can leave a comment. Let me know that you enjoyed this live, and if you want to see more like this, please don't forget to connect with Developing Mind. My sis is on these YouTube streets as well, and she is in the description box. And also, I dropped her link in the chat right up there. So we're gonna go ahead and close out. Yes, teachers can be bullies. I had to check one respectfully. Oh, you grew up with bullying teachers. Wow. Yep. Sunday backyard farmer. How are you? Thanks so much for coming by. Oh, thank you so much. Drea shared you out. Shared you out. Shared me out. I appreciate that. Great collab and topic. I agree. Yes. I'm just catching up on the comments here. The enemy trying to silence us at an early age and keep us from our destiny. Right. And the sad thing is, we don't even know. There's so many people out there that have no idea. The enemy is so sneaky and just so conniving and so tedious as well, just sneaking in there. Um, Great conversation. I enjoyed it. So happy I came in to hear it. Thank you. Unique says, everyone listening in the background, while developing mind, thank you for sharing your story. I wish one of my babies would tell me about a teacher. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate your transparency, T, so much for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, y'all are very welcome.
So we're gonna go ahead and close it out if that's okay. Did you have anything else? Just double checking.
Oh no, I don't think I have anything else.
Okay. Well, the whole point of my channel is to, motivate you in so many different ways. But overall, just don't forget to just stay you, stay true to yourself, because if not, then all else fails. Everything else goes out the door, and it's between you and God, your relationship with God. And if you want to know more about how to get there, what it looks like, hey, I am a great example. I thank God for giving me a voice now because I never would have thought that I'd be talking like this, y'all. But it feels good here, and all you got to do is keep trying, a little bit at a time, and slow and steady really does win the race. So, um, let's go ahead and get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow night. Because we're going to have game night. It's going to be over on Heather's channel, and I'll be posting it on my community tab. Stay humble, stay encouraged, stay you. That's it. That's all. As always, remember, be true to yourself. Because if you can't be true to yourself, you can't be true to nobody else. Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night.